Hello, I am Dr. Jane McCartney. I'm a chartered psychologist in the UK, and today I'm going to talk to you about the weapons that narcissists will use against you or against anybody that they feel are going against what they want. Now, remember, narcissists are individuals that have a huge sense of need for control and entitlement. Sometimes they can be grandiose and out there, and sometimes they can be more manipulative and malevolent. And they have no empathy. They cannot see anything from anybody else's point of view, or they can sometimes even make out that of course I see it from your point of view. Of course I understand it from your point of view. They don't. They're just using that. They're storing that one up when you tell them about something that's gone on in your life that is troubling to you. They are just storing that one up to use against you. And this is why I wanted to talk about the weapons. I use the term weapons purposely as opposed to tools or something that is useful to you, because it is, in a relationship with a narcissist, it can feel a bit like you are in a war with somebody, and they won't think twice about weaponizing their information, what they know about you, what they know about somebody else, whatever, if it gets them what they want, which is their own way. So the first weapon that they would like to use, now this isn't any particular order, but it's just how I wrote it down. They will use your guilt against you. Oh, your shame, your empathy, you didn't do something and that made you feel bad about yourself. So what's the first thing you can do to make your guilt a little less and assuage it a little bit is do something for me. And they will manipulate that. They will use that against you to get what they want. And remember, their top line is they have to get what they want because they feel that that is their entitlement. So they will use your guilt against you and they will manufacture it. They will put you in a situation where they will tell you that you have done something wrong or terrible, or you didn't do something that you should have done, even though you perhaps didn't even know about it. They will use that against you because that's what narcissists do. They just build up this armoury, this weaponry against people that they can use when they need to get their own way. So they will use their guilt against you. They will exert their control over you. And again, I've sat with, so many people that have just said, well, you just go along with it. You don't agree with what they say. You don't agree with what they're thinking, but you just go along with it because it's just the easiest thing. And you have situations, especially with a relationship where there's children involved, and the narcissist will say, well, if you go against me, then I won't do that thing. I remember one particular incident where if the wife wasn't doing something that the husband wanted to do, he threatened to withdraw the orthodontic treatment for the children. I won't pay for their private orthodontic children. And then that's going to be on you. The fact that they have wonky and crooked and terrible teeth is going to be on you because you didn't do that thing, whatever it was that I wanted you to do. So they will exert their control whenever they need to, and they'll let you know that that's what they'll do as well. Isolation is a huge tactic that narcissists will use, and in that kind of like original love bombing stage that they go through, I've talked about it in a past video, but I'll talk about it again, where they, everything is about you. Everything, oh, we're just the best couple in the world, or we're just the best friends in the world. We've just met, we've just literally become co-workers, and oh, we've got this in common, and we like this, and we like to go out to the same place for our coffee and our lunch, and tell me about yourself. Again, they are just getting information about you to use or potentially use at a later date. And one of the things they like to do in this love bombing stage is it's you and me against the world. Yeah, your family, no, they don't quite understand you. Can I, come with me. I get you. I understand you. And before you know it, you end up being the hostage because you've had to cut off all relationships and all levels of support. And often what will happen is, as that relationship goes on and the narcissist's true colours show, the family, your family will go, or the friends, they'll go, oh God, he, she, they're just too hard work. And then eventually you just get, taken away from that family, that support, that friend. It might not be brilliant. There may be narcissists in your family, but there's something there that this narcissist wants to take you away from, because then you are isolated and you have to rely on them, or that is their belief. So isolation is very much part of the armoury of a narcissist. They use your good nature, your sympathy, your ability to empathise. If you're a nice person, which luckily most of us are, and you see something that you think, oh, I really empathise with that person if something's going wrong with them, they will use that against you. They will take your good nature and twist it and turn it around and use it against you, to the point where you think, well, perhaps I shouldn't have thought that. Perhaps I shouldn't have, I don't know, when you're passing in the street and you see somebody asking for money or food or something, you feel sorry for them and you give them a bit of money or food. Why did you do that? Well, they could have, they have choices. They could have done something. Why are you doing that? And that gets kind of, I'm using that as an example again. They get that and they twist that and they turn that against you. I hate to use the word, but I'm going to, because it cuts to the chase, that your craziness that they evoke and they make. And again, this is through gaslighting, where they start telling you you are a type of person, the person that they want you to be, even though that really isn't your nature. And again, a lot of this tends to be the transference from the narcissist onto you. The fact that the narcissist, I can't deal with myself. I have low self-esteem. I have, I'm completely insecure, and I'm going to put that onto you because I can't deal with it. And you, as the host of the narcissist, the supply, you have to take that. And in initial relationships, that tends to happen. You think, oh, what's going on here? And and it could be dressed up as presents, and again, then remember the you and me against the worldness, and that can be quite appealing sometimes, especially if you're looking to fix somebody and rescue somebody, the empath. We'll talk about that in a later video as well, so just kind of be aware. And what I always say to people, what is going on in that little voice in the back of your head, that small voice in the back of your head? And everybody that ends up in therapy, I say, did you hear that voice? And they kind of go, yeah, I heard that voice. But there was so much chatter from the narcissist, I didn't really listen to it. So silent treatment, that is another one that the narcissist will use against people. If they're not getting their own way, shutting down. And then you end up kind of going, okay, what is it, that thing that I was meant to have done? I'm now panicking because I've invested a lot in this relationship. I've cut off ties with family and friends, so I'm invested in this relationship. What can I do? Oh, and silent treatment is a very classical narcissistic trait. And what tends to happen is they may go silent, and then suddenly they'll snap out of it, and everything to them is back to normal. And you're, oh, what happened there? What was I meant to do? It's never spoken about. The thing that you did that made them go silent tends never to be spoken about, but you're expected to know. And they switch it on and off. And again, there's that level of eggshells. Am I walking on eggshells all the time? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? The thing that I did right last time turns out to be the wrong thing today. It's a minefield, and that is where your level of craziness can come into it. You start believing, because you can't, you have no sort of like levelness with a relationship with a narcissist. You start to believe the crazy that they may even be telling you that you are as well. But here's the tip: don't, because you're not. They're the ones with the issues, but they're transferring them onto you, and you may have been absorbing them for days, months, years, whatever. You may have been absorbing them, but you don't need to now, and we'll come on to that just a little bit later in the video. I just want to do another couple of things. And if all else fails, some narcissists will turn to violence. Sadly, the news items and the papers are peppered with, girl gets attacked, man got stabbed, because the narcissist in their life, it's almost the last vestige, and often threats are out there to begin with. But violence, if I don't get my own way and you're annoying me and you're not doing what I want you to do, and my ego, my fragile ego is being damaged even more because you're not doing what it is, I will be violent towards you. And then sometimes you have one incident of violence, but there's always, ever after, the threats of that violence happening. So in those cases, if there is ever anything like that, you must call the authorities. That's what they are there for, the police. Don't think that you're doing them a disservice, even though they would tell you that you are, by calling the authorities. You are protecting yourself, and that is the number one thing that you must do. You must protect yourself and any children or family that you have as well, because narcissists, prisons and jails are full of narcissists who didn't get their own way, and they're surrounded by other narcissists who all agree with them that woman that they killed, or that bloke that owed them money that they killed or maimed or whatever, they deserved it. But anyway, we're not talking about the bubble that goes on in a jail or when narcissists get together. So what you must do when it comes to the armoury of a narcissist is have your own toolbox. Now, I'm taking it down a level in my language because that is important. It's you have tools, they have weapons. Your tools are better. Your tools are, just more useful. So first tool is your boundaries. You must stick with your boundaries and get help. Don't think that you're the only person to struggle and suffer in a relationship with a narcissist. Again, that's part of their craziness if they say, nobody else would talk to me like this. Don't think that you are, because you are not. So get some help. Sometimes it gets to the point where you have to do this quietly, so they don't know that you're doing it. It might be that you have to do it at an internet cafe, or you find a school friend or something. Sometimes it's the shame of admitting that you're in a terrible relationship. Once you get over that, be amazed how much support and help there is out there. But your boundaries, you must keep your own boundaries. And even sometimes if they get trod over because of circumstances, like the lady with the children with the orthodontic treatment, she didn't want to do the thing that the narcissist said. I can't remember, it was something to do with their divorce, I think it was, I can't remember, and she wasn't agreeing to something or other, and he was threatening to withdraw that. She didn't want to do that, but she kind of she swallowed that one. She's kind of dealt with that one, because actually the greater good was get her children done. But she wasn't, she was going to, a little bit further down the line, know that she didn't have to do these things that he wanted her to do, or agree these things. So to stick, even if it's in your head, you stick with these boundaries and know that you are not mad or crazy or deranged or unhinged and all the things that will be thrown at you, all these, words and names that will be thrown at you. Know that you're not. It's them, and they are projecting it. They are transferring it onto you. So please bear those in mind and be just true to yourself. Know who you are, and find somebody. It doesn't matter if it's a stranger that you have to talk to on a helpline or on a chat room or whatever, but just find other people out there that will just go, do you know something? You're okay. You might not feel it, and you might be in a situation where you can't show it all the time, but you are just okay, and you tell yourself that you're okay as well. So, keep true to yourself. That's the absolute bottom line, no matter what the narcissist is saying. Thank you very much for watching. I will be along again soon with another video about narcissism, because there are a lot of them out there, and the more people that know how to deal with them, the better the world will be. Bye.